The command deck of the Coalition warship Eternal Resolve hummed with the usual efficiency of a dozen alien species working in concert. Tarn Veclor, a decorated officer of the Krethari Empire, stood with his forearms crossed, watching the newest additions to their forces with barely concealed contempt. Humans. They called themselves soldiers. But to Veclor's eyes they were primitives playing at war. Their technology was centuries behind, their lifespans laughably short, and their physical capabilities underwhelming at best. The tallest of them barely reached his chest plates. "This is what Earth sends?" Veclor muttered to his second-in-command, gesturing toward the human contingent assembling in the deployment bay. "They cannot even modify their own genetics. No exoskeletons, no neural enhancements, no psionic capabilities." Among the humans stood Sergeant Cole Hunter, a man whose weathered face and gray-streaked beard suggested he'd seen more combat than most. But what drew Veclor's attention and his disdain was the creature at Hunter's side. A dog. A common Earth canine, panting slightly, its tongue lolling out in what Veclor could only interpret as stupidity. "They bring pets to war?" Veclor's voice carried across the deck, and several other alien officers turned to look. Laughter rippled through their ranks. "Perhaps next they will bring their younglings and expect us to provide nursery facilities." Hunter's jaw tightened, but he said nothing. His hand dropped to rest on the dog's head, and the animal, a Belgian Malinois named Archer, leaned into his touch. The mission briefing was short. A Zarenth hive facility had been detected on the moon of Korath 7. Intelligence suggested it was a forward operating base, lightly defended. The Coalition would deploy a mixed strike team to neutralize it before it could be reinforced. Veclor had commanded such operations 100 times. He assigned the humans to rear support, expecting them to slow the advance. Hunter accepted the assignment without protest, though his eyes betrayed his frustration. The assault began at dawn local time. Veclor led from the front, his plasma rifle cutting through the thin Zarenth defenders with precision. The facility's outer perimeter fell within minutes. It was almost too easy. Then the screaming started. The Zarenth had been waiting. The lightly defended base was a trap, and the Coalition forces found themselves surrounded by hundreds of the insectoid warriors, emerging from hidden tunnels beneath the lunar surface. Veclor's carefully planned assault dissolved into chaos. "Fall back!" Veclor roared, his translator broadcasting the command across all frequencies. "Regroup at the landing zone." But the Zarenth were everywhere, their chittering war cries filling the thin atmosphere. Veclor's second-in-command went down, torn apart by razor-sharp mandibles. Others fell in rapid succession. The Coalition forces were being massacred. Through the smoke and plasma fire, Veclor saw movement. The humans, who should have been safely in the rear, were advancing. Hunter moved with a fluidity that belied his age, his primitive projectile weapon barking with each shot. And beside him, impossibly, ran the dog. Archer moved like liquid death. Where Veclor saw a pet, the Zarenth encountered something their evolutionary memory recognized. A predator. The dog's teeth found throats and joints, its compact body weaving between the alien warriors with preternatural awareness. But it wasn't just attacking. It was guarding. Every time a Zarenth tried to flank Hunter, Archer was there. Every time the sergeant needed to reload, the dog created space. They moved as one organism, two minds unified by something Veclor's advanced species had bred out of themselves millennia ago. The bond between human and animal, forged through thousands of years of mutual survival. Hunter's voice cut through the chaos. "Archer, find!" The dog's demeanor changed instantly. Its nose went to the ground and it began moving with purpose. Hunter followed without hesitation, and something in his confidence made Veclor follow too. Archer led them to a concealed entrance, partially collapsed but wide enough for the Coalition forces to retreat through. As the survivors poured into the tunnel, Hunter and Archer held the rear, the man's rifle never stopping, the dog never faltering. A Zarenth warrior, larger than the others, charged directly at Veclor. The officer's rifle had overheated, useless. He was going to die. Hunter's bullet took the creature in the head. Archer lunged past Veclor, tackling another Zarenth that had emerged from the shadows. The dog's snarl was primal, terrifying, utterly unlike the panting creature Veclor had mocked hours earlier. "Move!" Hunter shouted at Veclor. "Get your people out." The tunnel collapsed 20 seconds after the last coalition soldier made it through. They'd lost 30% of their force, but without the humans, without Hunter and his dog, the casualties would have been total. In the aftermath, aboard the Eternal Resolve, Vekler found Hunter in the cargo bay. The sergeant was treating a gash on Archer's shoulder, his hands gentle despite their trembling. "Sergeant Hunter," Vekler began, and for the first time in his military career found himself uncertain of what to say. Hunter looked up, his eyes meeting Vekler's. "Sir, I was wrong about you. About your kind. About your—" Vekler gestured at Archer, searching for words. "Your companion." Hunter smiled, tired but genuine. "Archer's not just a companion, sir. He's a soldier. Has been for 6 years. Saved my life more times than I can count. Saved yours today, too." Vekler's mandibles clicked in what his species used for a nod. "We have bred loyalty out of ourselves, thinking it weakness. We have engineered away the bonds that you humans still carry. I see now that we may have miscalculated." "Technology's great," Hunter said, returning his attention to Archer's wound. "But it can't replace trust. Can't replace knowing that someone's got your back no matter what. That's what makes humans dangerous, sir. We don't fight alone. We never have." Archer's tail wagged once, thumping against the deck, and Vekler understood. Humanity's strength wasn't in their weapons or their ships. It was in their refusal to abandon the connections that bound them to each other, and to the creatures they'd chosen to walk alongside. In a universe that prized individual capability and technological supremacy, humans had kept something far more valuable: loyalty, in its purest form. And that, Vekler realized with something approaching awe, made them truly unstoppable.